Happy Thursday, 5th grade. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about text structure. That is day 4 of your article of the week. We are actually going to pause on the article of the week. We're going to stop with that popcorn article for today. We'll finish it tomorrow. Okay. I will extend the due date until Friday. We're not going to talk about the article of the week today. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about text structure and the different kinds of text structure and what it looks like. Okay. So, the first kind of text structure, before I even talk about that, what is text structure? Okay, so text structure is the way that the author organizes the text. Okay, the article that we're reading, it's the way the author organizes everything. Okay, please come to the meet today, Thursday, because we'll do some more practice with text structure. And that's going to be a very important thing as we move along during our article of the week. Okay, so come to the meet so that way we can practice text structure. Okay, so the first text structure is description. Okay, so description is probably one of the easier ones. Description is, okay, and I want you to make sure that you're writing this down on your notes as well. Okay, the author chooses a topic and describes it. Okay? So you might see a few examples here of things that you'll see in description text structure. You might see, characteristics. You might see things that like if you think about maybe like a volcano, right? So you're thinking about different things that make up a volcano. You might think of examples. Okay, so it's an author choosing a topic and just telling us about it. Okay, so it's just giving us different descriptions of the topic the author has chosen. Okay, that was pretty easy. The next one is sequence. And sequence text structure is going to be kind of a first, next, then last. Okay, so it's an order. Okay, so make sure that you're copying this down in your notes too. Okay, so the author writes about something in order. The order that something happens. Okay? And the example of this, what you will see is you will see first, next, then last, but you might also see the words before, and you might after. Alright, so you might see the words first, next, then, last, before, and after. Okay, so it's going to be the author telling you about something in order. Alright, so maybe it could be the life cycle of something. First, a caterpillar is born, and then it turns into a, a cocoon, and then last it turns into a butterfly. Alright, that would be a sequence. So you have a first, next, last. Okay. The next text structure is compare and contrast. And that is the author comparing two things. Okay? No, I do want the word comparing. All right, so the author comparing two things. All right, so saying how two things are similar, saying how two things are different. Okay, an example of this. What is the same and what is different. Okay, so you might there might be an article about cats versus dogs, Apple versus Samsung. That's being compare and contrast, talking about how the two things are the same, and then how they're also different too. All right, that's compare and contrast. We have two more. Okay, so the next one is cause and effect. Okay, so the author describes how an event causes other events. Okay, so something happens, and the author is telling us how now new things are happening because of that first event. Okay, an example of that, an author might be writing about coronavirus. All right, that's an event, and now the article is talking to us about how schools are deciding how to go back to school and how to fight the coronavirus. That's cause and effect. The coronavirus happened, and the effect was schools now have to decide how to go back to school. Okay? All right, so the example, let's just use this coronavirus one. So it's like COVID, and then I will do equals. So the event equals how schools go back to school. All right, so one event leads to other events. So the cause is coronavirus, and the effect is now schools have to decide how are we going to go back to school. Okay. Last one is very similar to cause and effect. It's problem and solution. Right, and this one is the author writes about a problem and how to fix it. Okay, so problem and solution, the author writes about a problem and how to fix it. All right, and the example for this, we will use the things that are happening in the world today again. COVID and a vaccine. So the problem is coronavirus is happening. We can't fix that unless we find a vaccine which will give people a way to fight the disease. So the problem is coronavirus. The solution is a vaccine. Right? That's problem and solution. Okay? So these are the text structures for today. Make sure that you have all of these notes copied down. If you need to, you can pause right now. And this will have all of the notes that you have for today. Remember that this will be day 4 in our article of the week every week. We will not worry about the article of the week today. We will do it tomorrow, Friday, now that you know what the text structures are. All right? Let me know if you have any questions.